Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Where is Claressa Shields? What you gonna do? Now, Shadasia Green has come out, called out Claressa. But we haven't heard anything. Claressa's been very quiet. Seems to be focused elsewhere. And I find that a bit unusual. You see, when fighters get quiet, that can mean one or two things. One, they're not interested in the fight. Or two, they're interested, they just don't want to say nothing yet. They're there trying to probably get ready for some negotiations and sort things out. But when it comes to the GWOAT, Claressa Shields and her man, Papoose Pap, you just don't know what's going on. And the reason I say that is because Claressa Shields, in my opinion, she seems to be embracing being a superstar. I'm going to go ahead and call it that, right? Is Claressa Shields a superstar? I think so. Is she famous? I think so. Is she developing more recognition, more visibility? I think so. Doesn't matter if you agree with how they're going about it. Are they attaining more exposure for Claressa Shields? Are they growing her profile more? Right? Simple, yes and no. Not yeah, comma, however. No. Yeah, however this, moreover, in addition, albeit. Nah, don't come out hit me with the transitions and shit. The MLA, APA. Nah, we ain't doing that. We're just going to keep it real for what it is. Does she have boxing locked down? Yes. Will she beat Shadasia Green? Hey, yo, hold your horses. And let's not take it to the stupid. Should she be the favorite going into that fight? Yes. Yes. I said it. Am I rocking with Shadasia? Of course. But I rock with boxing before anything. So all the joking aside, I rock with boxing. Claressa Shields has never been defeated. Claressa Shields has shown in every fight an ability to up it in a way that her opposition just can't keep up. Forget about how she looked in the last three fights. Let's just peel it all the way back to that Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall was a beast from the East. Out there in the UK, fighting in her hometown, that's when Savannah Marshall was in her prime, doing the business. Claressa and Savannah got in there together, and Savannah was bringing the heat, but Claressa made it hotter. And you saw in every round, even though Savannah had she won some rounds, Claressa was able to up it, so she seems to be someone, when it comes to heat, they say heat rises. Claressa brings the heat, and she rises to the level of her competition and beyond. So you got to put some respect on her name. Now, has she had to do that in her last few fights? To that I say, in the most respectful way, hey, yo, Claressa, hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. No, you have not. Because Claressa has chosen to move up in weight. She's chosen to pursue legacy, pursue greatness. But at the same time, those women she was fighting, they were on her level. And that's just being 100% real. But is it Claressa's fault that she fought champions who just couldn't hold, I guess, her purse or her minks? When guys say, you can't hold my jockstrap, champ. You can't hold her minks. Because she rocking the minks, don't she? That's just like someone took a pack of Skittles and just went in the closet and just burst that shit up in the closet. And just fucking follow the rainbow. She got green, she got yellow, she got tangerine, she got pink, she got red, brown, black, white. She got everything. It's like Bubba Gump. Bubba Gump had all them different shrimp. I got shrimp scampi, shrimp gumbo, I got shrimp curry shrimp, I got shrimp with tomatoes. I got shrimp pasta, I got everything. That motherfucker had everything when it comes to shrimp. Claressa is the Bubba Gump of meats. She got pink mink, she got green mink, she got yellow mink, she got brown mink, she got plaid mink, she got Dalmatian mink, she got duck sauce mink. She got every goddamn thing. I'm just being real. Somebody tell me something if I'm wrong. But the one thing she doesn't have is a response to Shadasia Green. Shadasia Green. We need to know, Claressa, what you're going to do. You're going to be a superstar, you're going to be a fighter. You're doing R&B now? You Beyonce? Or you rapping, you Megan Thee Stallion? You GWOAT, Arissa the GWOAT? Arissa the GWOAT? Gonna Neiman Market if I wanted, I go get it. And I jump into it. My man, Papa Pusa, her champion, he's an asshole. What you gonna do? There's nothing wrong with, I'll be honest with you, all jokes aside, I like the fact that you have athletes or entertainers, actors, or whatever, the common Joe walking around trying to get involved in different things. I think that's cool, man. Fill your downtime. Fill your dead space with something productive. I mean, she could be out here, breaking the goddamn law. At least she's doing something productive, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, she said 2026, the internet basically was going to be hers. So she's been this social media, phenom, and just been keeping the social media, alive. So why not take the social media, man, and talk about what you're doing as far as your next 2 fights? Because she had a whole lot to say at the end of that fight with Franchon, right? She went in there, got up on the goddamn turnbuckle like the WWE. Shadasia, you in here? You in here? Is Shadasia over there? Is she over here? She over there? Shadasia, you in here? Get in the ring, girl. You in here? Man, please. Shadasia, you over here? You over there? Is she everywhere? Okay, well now Shadasia has come out and she's given the facts is what she's done on why that fight between Claressa and Shadasia didn't happen beginning of the year. Sounds like the fight could have happened, but Claressa chose to go with Franchon. And I get it. I understand politics, business. I get it. You talk to your friend, and y'all had the okie doke going on, and that's the route you wanted to go because you knew you could beat her. You need to win. Claressa needs to win fights, people. And I'm going to tell you this. Remember what I said in the beginning, because some of y'all be hearing what the fuck y'all want. I'm telling you, I think Claressa should be the favorite against anyone she gets in the ring with. So make sure y'all hear that too. Sometimes y'all don't be hearing y'all hear what the fuck you want. Hear what I'm telling you. Just because I think Shadasia got the kryptonite, I'm a boxing fan first. And I'm a realist. If the betting odds open up, Claressa's going to open up as the favorite, and she probably will remain the favorite right up until fight week. Okay? Fight night. That's the reality of the situation. Ain't nobody delusional here. But all I'm saying is, that fight with her and Shadasia could have happened at the beginning of the year. Shadasia fought in July 2025. So Claressa's like, all right, I'm going to fight Franchon, Shadasia, you next. They wanted Shadasia to not fight until after Claressa got through with Franchon in February, May, June, July, maybe, and not fight until July. So you want to keep Shadasia in a holding pattern to where she got to be out the ring a year. Shadasia's fighting in April. So July, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that ain't really bad for Shadasia. She was trying to get in early, but it is what it is. She's fighting in April, Lanai Daniels. But the thing is this. Let's forget the past, right? Claressa, Shadasia, all's forgiven. We didn't get to fight the first quarter of the year. But the thing is this. What y'all gonna do? Shadasia came out and said, after I fight Lanai Daniels, I plan on beating her, of course. I'm available. We don't know what Claressa's doing. I was thinking she's fighting between June and July. Something came up the other day about August. I'm like, August? Now you're hearing Michaela Mayer talking about she fighting in August? Shit, is Claressa fighting Michaela Mayer in August? Because she was saying she wanted to fight Michaela Mayer too. So if Michaela Mayer's not fighting until August, she's with MVP now. Claressa, no one knows what she's doing. So if she's not going to fight till August, if it's against Michaela Mayer, the timing that shit doesn't line up. There's no way her and Shadasia Green can fight this year if Claressa returns in August to fight Michaela Mayer. There's no way in the world. 4 months left in the year. They fight in August. Claressa ain't turning around to fight the end of the year, no goddamn Shadasia Green. She's going to need some time to rest and reconstitute. Then she has other things she's interested in. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But it just ain't going to happen to promote that fight. First, that's if she beats Michaela Mayer. Okay? So let me not take it to the stupid. Because Michaela Mayer gets busy. But just assuming she beats her, how you going to promote a fight for Shadasia Green? Shadasia said, look, I'll fight in April and I'll clear my schedule as long as we can get a contract in place to fight Claressa at the end of the year. That's the fight I want. She said, I want the fight. I want the fight. So I'm just sitting here telling y'all what she said. But what is Claressa's driving force? What's her focus right now? Because Claressa gets busy in the ring. Claressa is the truth. It don't matter what jokes I make. Some of these people, I see some channels, they're kind of wild. I ain't gonna talk. I don't talk like that about Claressa. You know what I mean? We could have fun and jokes. It ain't nothing but like talking shit. If I met Claressa, I'm sure we'd probably become okay. She make jokes, I make jokes. We could talk shit, but some of the stuff people say about it is just wild. That ain't my style. But outside of the shit talk, let's be real. Claressa gets busy. But that's why I don't understand this weight class chess moves that Claressa been making and trying to do with these people. Now, we know back in the day, her and Baumgartner, because Baumgartner's name is bubbling right now. But, you know, people want Baumgartner to fight Dubois. But as a result of those conversations, there's been, you know, conversations that have kind of flanked off, and you got Baumgartner talking about her and Claressa. Remember, there were questions asked of Baumgartner. Why didn't you fight Claressa? At the time, Baumgartner said, I'll fight her at 147. Claressa said that she could do it. Right? She said it was doable, it was feasible, but it never happened. Michaela Mayer started off at 130. She lost to Baumgartner. Now Clarissa's talking about fighting Michaela Mayer. So, I mean, you know, how's that look? But the bottom line is Michaela Mayer at 130, she was killing herself to get to 130. At 140, she said right now she could do it, but again, it'll be a hard weight cut. But the sweet spot for Michaela Mayer is, you know, she could get down to 147, but 154 is the sweet spot. Beyond 160 is even a push for Michaela Mayer because she's naturally a slim woman. But anyway, Clarissa's like, yo, come to 154, I'll fight you. Michaela Mayer goes to 154. Claressa didn't want to fight. She's like, come to 160. Michaela goes up, says, okay, 160. Then Claressa comes and moves the goalpost again. No, 163. So Michaela Mayer is like, hey, yo, GWOAT, hold your horses. Stop taking it to the stupid. What's next? 200? Sound like being at the auction, man. 147, 150, 150, 50, 55, 55, 60, 65. Sold to the dummy who agreed to fight me at a weight that gives him a disadvantage. Is that what we're doing here, Claressa Shields, moving goalposts? If I'm wrong, somebody tell me something. What you gonna do? And with Shadasia Green, just wait. Hurry up and wait. Don't stay active. Allow those barnacles of inactivity to cling to your ass and bog you down handyman virus to where you can't get in the ring and fire on all cylinders. Then I have the upper hand. You all let me know. Claressa Shields is great. And I'm going to always say that. We can make jokes. But why wouldn't she fight Baumgartner at 147 back in the day? Why didn't she fight Michaela Mayer at 154, then at 160? Why's it got to be 163 now? Why would Shadasia, she want her to wait? She wanted her to be inactive. She don't want her to be out taking fights and be and firing on all cylinders. She want to be inactive, then she'll fight her. Why? Who, what, when, where, why, how? Somebody tell me something. Because if you ask her champion, it looks like someone's moving goalposts and somebody putting duck sauce on the fried rice. But I understand advantage strategy. I understand it. The timing control. Claressa is like, I'm the A side. I'm going to control when I fight, who I fight. It's all on me and my time. You don't like it, do something else. I'm the cash cow. I'm the superstar. I'm the one with 2 gold medals, 19 world titles, 5 weight divisions, 3-time undisputed. You know, she let you know that shit, won't she? But it's true, she did it, right? So she should come out here and puff up her chest and feel proud about those accomplishments. But this thing about the timing control, yeah, she can do it. Weight manipulation, you fight me here, you fight me there. I mean, she can do it. You want to fight me, I'll fight you next. You got to trust what I'm telling you. But you take a fight, then you know that means that you don't really want to fight. You afraid of me. You ducking me. So I'm going to control your activity level. She can try to do it. She's the A side, right? A side gets away with some shit, don't they? Mayweather did. Canelo did. A side can do some shit. Gervonta Davis did it. They can have some catch weights on your ass with rehydration clauses. I'm not saying Claressa doing rehydration clauses, but she can do what she wants about the weight. She go and fight at the weight I want to fight at. Well, I'm comfortable. You come up and meet me. Or I go down to where I'm comfortable. And if you had to come up a little bit, then you do. Claressa marches to the beat of her own drum. But it's like I said last night, man. Being the A side means controlling the battlefield before the first punch. And that's exactly what she's done. She sets the landmines out there. And then she's like, all right, ready? On your mark, set, go. And you better hope your ass can figure things out, because you're going to step on one of them landmines, going to blow up in your face. And it's going to be you taking a loss to Claressa Shields. Now, the whole thing, it makes me think about when I talked to Hannah Gabriel's, her situation. You know, she supposed to have a rematch with Claressa, had the positive test, but she was cleared of any wrongdoing. But Claressa did come back and try to make another fight. But again, it was one of those late opportunities. Fight had to happen in a certain period of time. Hannah Gabriel had to come up to heavyweight, a weight that it would just take her a long time to put the weight on properly. Talking about trying to put on functional mass. That way at 175, she could still have the speed of her at 154, 160, have the agility, have the conditioning, basically have the power of a heavyweight, but have the speed and stamina of that at a lighter weight. But it just, the timing wasn't going to be favorable to Hannah Gabriel, so she I just couldn't do it. So when you look at it, it's like, damn, Claressa, if Hannah would have took that fight, yes, a big opportunity, but she would have been at a disadvantage. She would have been handicapped, and Claressa probably would have got the Hannah Gabriel scalp and got that feather in her cap on her resume, and it would have put Hannah Gabriel in a bad spot. So the playing field would not have been level. But I also understand it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity, but fighters got to do what's best for them. That's why, I think with some fans, they're like, yo, we're starting to connect patterns here. The Baumgartner, what's going on with Shadasia, thing with Michaela. Now we understand a bit more about Hannah Gabriel's, how they pushing Perkins on Shadasia instead of Claressa wanting to fight her. They're looking at this and they're saying, okay, well, what the hell's going on here? It's my son. Okay, they're like, what the hell's going on here? And as a result, there's a fan perception shift. Before, it was just like, yo, what we're seeing is GWOAT dominance. That's how it was. We're seeing Claressa Shields dominate. The greatest woman of all time. That's self-proclaimed title, right? A lot of people agree with her. But that's what they felt that they were seeing. But now, as you peel the layers back and understand the way she's been navigating her career, it's like, yo, maybe this is more about strategic genius or unfair manipulation. So is she the GWOAT that dominates? Is she a strategic genius? Or is it unfair manipulation? Or is it some of all three? But I'm going to ask you guys, is Claressa smart? Or is she avoiding level playing fields? Is Claressa that dominant of a fighter to where no matter what we say and who she gets in the ring with, she's going to whip their ass? Or is it that she's out here creating an unfair advantage to herself in these fights that she's trying to make and that have obviously fallen apart? The Baumgartner fight didn't happen. Shadasia Green, we don't know what's going to happen. Michaela Mayer, look like she may get the fight, but it may be at a weight to where she's not comfortable. Hey, look, what you gonna do? Somebody tell me something. Because right now I'm like, yo, somebody need to hold their horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Them comparison contradictions, man. You look at the Lanai Daniels situation. Claressa downplays opponent because she already won. You know what I mean? She's like, I already beat Lanai. Shadasia trying to come and fight her. I already beat her. Man, please. But Alicia Baumgardner beat Michaela May already. So how you going to discredit one opponent and chase another similar situation? While you fighting, what's her names? And I don't want to disrespect Michaela May, but for conversation, you understand? Why are you fighting Baumgartner's leftovers? And I don't even like saying that because I got a lot of respect for Michaela May, but that's how Claressa would describe it. So I'm just talking in her language. Why? It makes sense to me for Shadasia to fight Lanai Daniels. Fight Lanai Daniels. Claressa fought Lanai Daniels. If Shadasia can come in there and knock her out, that sends a message. It sends a strong message. That shit's going to have the boxing world shook up. And it continues to build the hype around a fight with Shadasia and Claressa. Claressa just got to agree to the fight at this point. But if it doesn't happen, I'm telling you, somebody gonna be viewed as putting duck sauce on the fried rice. So is Claressa cooking fights or is she cooking opponents? Because when she gets in the ring, she does the business. She looks the part. Even this last fight, she looked in great shape, explosive. She even looked powerful. When you say, oh man, she don't hit hard. I ain't talking about that. She got some pop, but she looked powerful. You saw she was pushing Franshaw all off her and getting up off her. That shit ain't easy to do. That shit was like a wrestling match, and Claressa was able to get her up off her. And then, not just shove her off her, punch out the clinches. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not easy to do. Claressa was in great shape, folks. But again, is she cooking opponents or is she cooking fights? She putting fried duck sauce on the fried rice? She manipulating these fights to give herself an advantage? It's just a conversation. I ain't saying I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm just having a conversation with y'all, right? But we just got to talk more about public pressure tactics, narrative control, and social media influence. But I'm going to tell you the bigger issue here. I think Claressa knows she's the A side and has A side control. When I'm paying attention to this, it doesn't seem to be much. It's not enforcing things. Don't seem to be a priority. Seem to be a lack of enforcement, because to me, the whole boxing world should be buzzing, saying that Claressa's next opponent is so-and-so, and her and Shadasia Green and MVP and Win Records and Demetrius Salidas already agreed. If Claressa gets past whoever she fights next, her and Shadasia will fight at the end of the year. Like, that should already be out there. I'm not saying a contract has to be into place, but there has to be some kind of preliminary discussions. And the thing is this, maybe it's already happening. We just don't know. Shadasia Green, I have a lot of respect for her as an athlete, but there's some things people can't talk about, and I know and I respect that. So I have sense enough to say you just don't know what's going on. But I also have sense enough to say something doesn't seem right here. Because even if there's talks going on, the promoter can still give you something and say, look, nothing firm, nothing definitive, but this is an option. And we have had some discussions. Eddie Hearn does that. Well, we've had some preliminary discussions. We just got to wait and see a couple of opponents on the table, but that's the fight we want. Right there. We won't even get that shit. Now, the Claressa Shields fans will say, well, she said she wants Shadasia next. Okay. She said she wants Michaela May if no Shadasia. She said she wants to fight 2 more times this year. So she's fighting in August. How the hell are they going to build up a fight for Shadasia Green? Shadasia Green and Claressa Shields is a big deal, people. To me, that's Netflix. But that's me. But then you got Claressa, probably want to fight in Detroit. They got DAZN. Then you got MVP, Shadasia. You got ESPN. those are discussions and talks that need to be happening right now. And maybe things are getting sorted out if, in fact, Michaela Mary's getting the fight next, because Michaela Mary's not with MVP. So maybe those things are being sorted out right now. We just don't know because they're not saying nothing. They're basically like, yo, we're going to shut up and let y'all sit here and talk and promote the fight and look like a bunch of crazy asses because y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. But we got all the answers over here. They're basically playing Kanye West and we Sway. They're here telling us, you ain't got the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answer, Hood. And I'll be like, hey, yo, look, man. I love you, man. Why you gonna talk to me like that? Y'all seen that shit with Kanye West and Sway? Oh, that shit was crazy, man. But the bottom line is, when I look at the flexible matchmaking, the lack of enforcement, the A-side control, I think that's a huge problem, man. But hey, when you're the A-side, you can do what you want. But it connects everything. You know what I'm saying? Baumgartner, Michaela Mayer, Shadasia, this whole thing with pushing Perkins, talking crap about Shadasia fighting Lanai Daniels. Everything is pushed the kind of way to create a narrative that Shadasia doesn't want to fight. Shadasia's scared to fight. Yeah, I ain't buying that. She just came out and said she wants to fight. She'll clear her schedule the rest of the year. So I just think she threw it back on Claressa. So the question now is, what you gonna do? GWOAT? Duck sauce on the fried rice? Or is this strategy? We don't know. But I tell you what, boxing isn't just fought in the ring anymore. It's negotiated, manipulated, and marketed before even the bell rings. That's why it doesn't make sense for Claressa to not say anything. But I know she out here doing her thing, music, rapping. I ain't gonna play none of her songs and shit because people out here clowning her rapping, clowning her song. But I'll tell you this. I don't like or dislike her music because I don't listen to that. If it was some dancehall, some soca, chutney music, maybe some bachata, you know what I mean? I'll play that. Old school hip hop, I'll play that. So it ain't nothing personal, just ain't my thing. But I did listen to a little piece. And it just sounded like shit you hear on the radio. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Sound like some shit I hear on the radio. So if I was driving in the morning, taking my sons to school, and I wasn't, because I be killing with boxing. So I'll be playing a lot of music for them in the morning. And I just happen, if I put on the radio and that shit was playing, I wouldn't think nothing of it. I'd be like, oh. I mean, really, it just sounds like somebody here on the radio. But because we know it's Claressa Shields, you know, people want to come out here and be hating on it and shit. But I mean, at least she's doing something, right? Can y'all give us some, can we all just get along? But I'll tell you what, boy, if she ain't focused on boxing, I don't know. And then the bad habits, you know, and maybe she drinks on occasion, she smoke on occasion, but I just don't like knowing that about an athlete, especially Claressa and I had a conversation, and, you know, if you follow the channel, you know what I'm talking about. Just to see her, it's hard to trust what she says, because people can change the way they do things. I haven't drank alcohol in 16 years. I've never been a big drinker. You know what I'm saying? I just remember my grandmother and my dad and my grandfather and, you know, all the old heads. When I'm there, and it was there in Trinidad, you know, and very strong religious background and shit. They talk to you about refraining from the use of all intoxicants and all that shit. And, you know, I just always used to hear that in the back of my head. And so anytime I'd be going down to Miami or in Trinidad or I'm in New York and shit, you know what I mean? I stopped bringing back rum punch and bottles of rum and scotch and all that shit. I just didn't care. And most of the time I brought it back was to give to friends, but I keep a little bottle of rum punch there. But I've been, what's going on, almost 16 years? And again, I would drink maybe 3 times a year back then. So did I drink? Yeah, but did I really drink at 3 times a year? You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what Claressa's doing. I don't know. But to be a professional boxer and to see her doing the hookah and all that shit, smoking hookah. Well, I don't even know what a hookah is, boy. but she's smoking the hookah. And now she's there with the social media thing and Zeus. And I tell you what, I don't think she's going to fight Shadasia Green. I'll be honest with you. You see this thumbnail right here? This is exactly what I think is going on. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is what's going on. I think you got it's right here. I think you got and Neiman Marcus. You got Claressa and Papoose. Oh no, here comes Hood and Shadasia. You got Hood Champion driving the Ford Pinto. Where's Claressa Shields? You got Shadasia Green on top of the Pinto. She like no sighting of the GWOAT Hood Champion. Then you got people running around like, is he really in a Pinto? Why? Papoose is hiding the GWOAT. As many times I tried to correct that GWAOT to GWOAT, it wouldn't correct it. So I said, fuck it, I left it. And then right here, wow, Papoose is hiding the GWOAT. And I really feel that this is what's going on. They out here chilling, doing whatever, and they don't want to hear people talk about this fight right now. They want to have fun, go out there and just live her life right now. You know, she's unemployed, so she's finding ways to create different modes of revenue, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't come out here talking about you want Shadasia Green next, and all of a sudden get quiet. You're supposed to be fighting 3 times this year, so why you don't have it all laid out? Papoose, where you at? Why you don't have it all laid out? Win Records, Demetrius Salita, where y'all at? What you gonna do? That's what we want to know. What you gonna do? Because we want to see the fight. We know what Claressa brings to the table, but we also know what Shadasia Green brings to the table. Suspense, drama. Claressa and Shadasia, we all know that that's not going to be dominance by Claressa. That's going to be drama. That is going to be another one of those for Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall type fights, Savannah Marshall type moments. You know what I'm saying? Where she's going to be in a real fight with somebody who's a real threat. And is she going to be able to up it like she's always been able to do? Especially now with all these distractions, all these different pokers in the fire, with the drinking and the smoking. And again, she may just do it on occasion, in moderation, 2-3 times a year. I'm going to tell you right now, that is never good. But at the same time, it's not like she out here getting drunk every weekend and shit, Spud McKenzie. You know what I'm saying? She ain't out here partying like a rock star. I would hope not. But that being said, where's Claressa Shields at? That's what I want to know. Because right now it's looking like the GWOAT, and the rapper Papoose, look like somebody putting duck sauce on the fried rice. That's just my opinion. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.